Welcome to the No Name Brand Podcast. My name is Sashka, actress, singer, dancer, turned brand marketing, sales, and advertising strategist who brands your soul. And each week I bring you an inspiring person or message to help you discover your undergod, turn up your leadership notches, challenge the status quo, because you're fast and furious with a powerful message to share with the world. Thank you for taking time out with me today, and without further ado, let's get our creative and wisdom juices flowing. Yabba dabba doo, we are back with another episode for the week, and I am pumped. Why? Well, we're talking all things leadership, body, and mind today. Now, y'all know that's my favorite topics. Why? Because of all things, these are the areas that we find the least easiest to control. And those that do have the capacity to control this with discipline and tenacity, well, they tend to be mostly, but not exclusive, high-performance athletes. Dying, is there any hope for the ones that aren't athletes? Help me, gold! Well, our next guest has an extended experience in working with athletes, professionals, corporate organizations, in, get this, over 18 countries. He has a multicultural rich background. We love that, so we understand so much, and offers a unique opportunity to learn what it takes to become the best in you, the best in your potential, the best in life and business. Now, he works on a wide range of areas, like from training to nutrition, but focuses mainly on the mindset because it's the key to everything. His coaching framework, like it's scientifically based on a solid foundation, combines techniques from sport, psychology, positive psychology. Can psychology be positive? NLP and emotional intelligence. His favorite quote is, and I love this, hard work beats talent. Yes, something I have to agree with, and I'm sure you too, gorgeous listeners. But how do we maintain that hard work? How do we put mind over matter and achieve that mind-body performance and potential that we so desire and seek? Well, we're going to delve into this world a little and more. So let's give our next guest a warm welcome. Here he is, the one and only, all the way from Indonesia, Dris Mamedi. Hello, Dris.
What an introduction. Thank you. How are you?
Hi,
everyone.
So cool to have you. So what are you doing in Indonesia?
Well, I'm based here most of the time. Like I spent some time here. I came here a couple of years ago and I fell in love with this place. So I kept on coming over the years, spending a couple of months. But for now, me and my little family having it as a base for the moment, because every year we think we like it, but we want to see what's out there, and then we end up coming back. So for now we are here and we're loving it.
What do you love about Indonesia that keeps pulling you back?
The climate, the energy, there's something positive about this place. It keeps on dragging people over it. When thinking about it, we had these conversations with friends sometimes, what makes it special. I think it's people. The people make it so special. The Indonesians, the Balinese specifically, they make it special. They make it nice. Good weather most of the year. There is a rainy season, but it's not so bad. It's still warm and nice. And of course, surfing. I came here for surfing. I need to. They can surf 360 days a year. So it's not like seasonal or something like that. Yeah.
Is that how you got into mindset, high performance coaching through surfing?
No, actually, surfing began a long time ago. It started when I was 16. 15, back in Morocco, where I come from. Fell in love into that, but the mindset and performance work and the coaching was about 5 years ago when I was in Sweden.
Oh, wow. What were you doing before then? How did you bridge the gap between the two?
So I used to work as an art director, advertising art director. I used to work in marketing, so I held a totally different field in the past. And somehow I stagnated and I wanted to do something different, something that felt more meaningful and purposeful. And I kind of stumbled into it. That's what I thought back then, by the way. I stumbled into it, but I will tell you a little more afterwards. So the company I used to work for paid that training for me, paid coaching training for me. It used to be the third best workplace in Scandinavia, so they encourage employees at learning and growing. So they paid that training coaching, and I found it like amazing, just great. Like something, okay, you can now coach your colleague. Actually, the culture in the office was back then that every other Friday of the month, each department will speak about what they have been doing in the office. And then at the end of that presentation, each one of us will give a little bit of, I don't know, tips or guidance or advices to his colleagues. And I was known for being that guy that always speaks about workplace well-being, productivity, communication, and that sort of stuff that are around workplace well-being and also time management, priority management. So they encouraged me, paid that training for me. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it and decided to continue and study more. So I studied in the Netherlands, in Holland, and I did a couple of other trainings in different places. And I did my transition from marketing to coaching. Yeah, then later on time came like I joined both passion and business, like coaching athletes. I like working with surfers. I don't only work with surfers in the mindset, but also work with other type of athletes and business professionals. But I said, okay, why not? I like surfing. I know a lot about it. So why not joining both and working with them? So why I was saying I thought I stumbled into it because years after starting the coaching, I was talking to my cousin, and he told me that when we were little, I told him I wanted to be a coach.
Oh, wow.
I have zero memory of that,
Wow.
nothing. But he sort of, yeah, you told me, you told me you wanted to be a coach. So really, can't remember it.
That is so interesting. And now you're in there. So, how are you bringing the marketing? I mentioned this somewhere, I think it was a blog post or a video or an interview or something. When I was studying marketing, I was always told it's a really cutthroat business. And I held myself back because I was like, I don't want to cut anybody's throat. Like, I'm a peace lover here. Like, this, no, no, no. So I held myself back a lot. But it's very true in marketing and advertising. It is very cutthroat. You have to be on the forefront. You're pitching all the time. And there's a lot of late hours. And it wasn't so much the late hours, it was more not being appreciated for the late hours and being taken for granted. So, what is the connecting thread between where you were and the coaching, and that you see in the athletes that you're working with that you like to connect with that and start from there?
I mean, just like yourself, when I was working as an art director, I couldn't see a meaning in what I was doing. It taught me a lot of things. Like if I think about the skills that emotional intelligence skills, also the hard work and everything that we put into those years of marketing, definitely took some of it, like in how we be organized and structured and prioritizing things, and also branding, how to use that marketing and the skills from branding, turned in them to something you can teach other people how to use them for their own purpose, for their own career development. So definitely taught me that. But back then, especially in the last years of work, it didn't make any sense to take a product, make it look better than it is, and sell it to people that doesn't even need it. It didn't make any sense. Still, I used it, and that's actually what gave me like a few steps ahead of, let's say, people that I studied in the same time coaching with. Like, so steps ahead, like I used all that knowledge to boost in my own brand, to putting it out there. Already knew how to do it because, when you coach in school, you not necessarily know how to do marketing. You either need to hire somebody or you need to go to seminars and learn about it. So I use all of that for myself. So I'm easily found now on Google, for example. My website, I built it myself. I know how to run my ads on Facebook and Instagram myself. So now when I work with business professionals, whether they are athletes or corporate people, there are sometimes moments where we need to talk about how to look professionally online, how to attract, let's say, to get more exposure so they can grow either their brand or their career. So I use those skills from back in the time when I used to be in marketing. I used to be actually art director in advertising.
I love art directors, creative directors as well. So, explain to us, where do you see the difference between high performance coach and coach?
Ooh, coach, just coach period can be anything. Could be, I don't know, could be a life coach, could be a mindset coach, could be fitness coach. The way I define it, but not necessarily, this is not like the universal definition. I think a coach period could be someone that assists the other person, that client, to gain certain skills, let's say clarity, vision, mission, become somehow clear and structured on whatever he wants or she wants to achieve, while a performance coach will work with somebody that is already there but want to take it to a further step, further level, push it to the next level. So how I do it, like when I say mindset and performance, even the way I sell my services, I sell a first package, let's say, that is mainly on mindset. So how to equip yourself with a growth mindset, for example. And once we finish that phase, we go to performance stage level 2. So then we work on the performance side.
Where did you find building your brand? I mean, you have all the knowledge and you've done it. Usually what entrepreneurs do is that they can do it fantastic service for their clients. But then when it comes to yourself and your own business, you kind of have this little stumbling block all the time. How did you find building your own brand to attract your own clients? Did you find that sometimes you were putting out the wrong message there? Did you have downtimes where it's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be talking about anymore? How are you dealing with content, differentiating yourself? Or did you feel the need to actually differentiate yourself from the high performance coaches?
I moved from doing it casually to having a proper structure in the website. I thought, okay, what am I supposed to do? How does it look like out there? Are other coaches using the brand? And then researched a little bit, thought about it a little bit, and then I thought, okay, you know what? Like, you just do it the way you think it, how it will feel good. So I put a lot of surf pictures, and I put myself out there, put who I am. And of course, in the beginning, I put a message. I was changing messages maybe 3 times a week.
We are not alone, people. We are not alone.
No, not all. Like, I was changing the message there many times. I didn't start first. I didn't start creating my website on WordPress. I started on like a platform like Wix. Actually, it was verb.com, and it's always still a work in progress. I go back and forth to my website and see if I can optimize something or I can change something that maybe sometimes just a word or two. Lately, I changed it from helping people reach their full potential to becoming their very best because it sounded better for me.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay to do it that way. It's okay to change it from time to time like that.
So I want to talk about hard work beats talent. Now, you believe that talent is something we can all believe by training our craft and our mind. For example, athletes need far more than just training their technical skills or business to develop their career. And athletes need to work harder, probably, to make a living from their sports because there's very limited amount of athletes within a sports. Limited athletes as in those that are recognized for the sport. So there are a lot in the back end wanting to come into the front end. Now, how are you helping the athletes of all the ages and abilities progress and reach their top performance? What is that top performance? What does it entail?
See, most of the time, all these athletes and people, specifically, let's talk specifically about athletes here, they focus a lot on the fitness and the physical side. I've been speaking to someone lately who had an injury, a back injury from surfing huge waves. And then his sponsors offered him all the possible help, therapists, trainers, everything. And he was off 9 months in bed, like not being able to move, back and knee injury. And no mental support, no work on the mindset. And that was the toughest thing for him. It wasn't the pain in the back, it wasn't the pain in the knee. It was dealing with his own mind. And he was asking himself, why am I doing this? I mean, this guy is like high performance athlete. Like he surfs this huge, immense waves that are in the Atlantic Ocean. So that's why I say in my website there that athletes need to work far more than just working their fitness and their nutrition and rest. Also, they need to work their mental side. So one of the things I do with my athletes, I help them get clear to why they do what they do. That gives them a big step to becoming more motivated and working harder. If you know your why, you work harder. You focus more. You don't give up when you have accidents like this. So you don't give up when you have challenges. So when I work with them, I break it into helping them getting to know what is the why they do what they do, helping them recognize the limitations. When I say here limitations, like limiting beliefs and empowering beliefs, self-talk, what they can say to themselves. I help them with their commitments. So we work also a lot about on goal setting and breaking it down to milestones. And these things usually, I find, like athletes, like the youngest one I've been working with, like around 14, 15, and the oldest maybe 32. Anybody told them this. They hear it
Yeah.
from somebody else. Somebody else tell them how to do it. And these are like the main things that we need to know how to do, right?
Yeah.
To train harder, to focus more, to practice more, and to get to the best version of ourselves. Does this make sense?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's very
Mm.
similar to whether it's applying it to your profession or to life or to your business or career or being employed. That tenacity and the mindset you have, and just being able to put it outside of yourself and not take it in. So people might say something about you or whatever, but it's just like, oh, that's your opinion. Let me make my own opinion. But often we're so influenced by everyone else's opinion. Or how is it working with young teenagers? Because their whole minds they're reforming. So all these
Yeah,
things that you're telling them, it's just like being sucked up like a sponge, I assume.
absolutely. It's so good because you know what? They don't carry any baggage.
Yeah.
They didn't fail enough. They didn't get hurt. They didn't get disappointed enough. So yeah, okay. How do I do that? Right, here you go. Homework done.
Wow.
So good to work with them. I actually even worked with a 9 years old. Like the parents approached me and they told me, "Can you teach him some of that stuff that you do?" I told them, "Well, guys, I don't know. He's 9 years old. Never worked with a 9 years old. But okay, I'll give it a try." He was so good. He
Wow.
was so good. We did reverse goal setting. You know, if you heard about that, but like I had him to step 10 years or even more than where he is at. We draw it in the sand. We put like, here's the present moment. There is the future. So let's step in the future. Close your eyes. What do you see? Well, then he's that tiny surfer. He said, well, I'll be in California and I will be surfing the championship with the big guys. And I will be so happy and so stoked, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, okay, good, great. So, okay, open your eyes now and step backward. What is this step that is before? And you see him turning his head up and right and say, I'll be buying tickets for my parents to come and see me.
Oh.
And then, okay, let's step backward. And he's just bam, 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 coming with it. Like with somebody older, you know, we might be a little bit held back by what if it doesn't work?
Mm,
What if it's not realistic? What if it's too difficult? You know, but with him, it's just like, full on.
I love that. We,
Mm-hmm,
we just have to keep that
It's very
simplicity.
rewarding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is rewarding because it's just like, whoa, I know this works, but is this even better because it's really working? Cool.
And we need to be optimistic like that. This is something we can learn from them, like from the kids. We need to be optimistic, always open to possibilities, always looking at the bright side, because without optimism, like what can we do? We're stuck.
Yeah, in the victim mode all the time, definitely.
Hmm.
Well, Dries, I have two questions that I ask all my guests as we're nearing the end. One of them being, I'd love to hear your take on three of my values by you filling in the blanks. One of the values being creativity for you is,
It's something I can do when I'm free, at peace, in the ocean.
ooh, water element, cool. Wisdom for you is,
Something you gain from experience.
hmm, passion for you is,
Ocean.
I love that. How do you want to challenge or change the world doing what you do?
Impact as many people as possible so they can pass on that to their friends, families, their kids, empower people so they can empower others. It is already happening in a small scale with the people I coached, but it'd be great if that could be on a much larger scale, working on
Yep. We're doing the reverse goals, right? Just need to keep
it.
doing the reverse goals. Love it. Thank you so much for being with us here, honoring your gifts and your talents and your purpose and your why, and having that ripple effect with from young to old, or older, not old, just in age. That's really, really cool. And you can find out more about Dries in the show notes, thebodyandmindcoach.com. Favorite book, favorite quote, where you can find him on social media, where he's hanging out, finding out about his blog and podcast, also on his website. Hook up with him, find out some really cool information, how he's working with athletes, also his own charity that he's sponsoring with surfers, with kids, and helping them with their mindset. Thank you so much, Dries, for being here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Really looking forward to getting to see what outcomes can come from this, and engage maybe with the audience as well. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you so much. And for you, the listeners, remember to be fast and furious and be the change that you want to see in the world. Keep it going strong. Love you all. Bye-bye. Dang, that was just supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I enjoyed having you on board, and please do me and you a favor. Head on over to iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. Click subscribe, and a super bonus, leave your review and you stand a chance of being announced and advertised on the show. I'm always striving to ensure that your brand is uplifted and empowered. Remember, done is better than perfect. So be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and send in your feedback too. You're the absolute best. Keep rocking.